The expansion Chicago Fire are off to a 1-0 start, led by the Polish power of Roman Kosecki. The expansion Chicago Fire are off to a 1-0 start, led by the Polish power of Roman Kosecki. The Tampa Bay Mutiny are off to an 0-2 start at home with just one goal to show for it. This one by Dominic Kinnear. It's the home opener for the Fire versus the Tampa Bay Mutiny. Major League Soccer on Sports Channel is next. From historic Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois, tonight the Tampa Bay Mutiny take on the Chicago Fire. There may be a fire on the field tonight, but it's downright cold in Chicago. Good evening, everybody. Rob Weingarten along with Jim Henderson. Jim, tonight will be the coldest Tampa Bay Mutiny game in history, and the Mutiny come in with a pretty cold offense.
Well, they have been so far, Rob. The temperatures tonight are going to be in the mid-30s for this game. It is, you said, the coldest ever for the Mutiny, but maybe, Rob, that'll be the tonic the Mutiny need to get that offense heated up.
We think it's cold, but the Mutiny's goalkeeper, Swede Thomas Ravelli, he thinks it's summertime.
Yeah, old hat for Thomas Ravelli. I mean, he practiced last night and said, just like Sweden, this is what I like. He's been really good for the Mutiny so far, Rob. He just needs to get that first win.
Still looking for his first victory, even though he shut out Miami over 90 minutes in the last game. The city of Chicago, it has more Polish residents than any city in the world except for Warsaw, and this Fire team has a definite Eastern European flavor.
Well, they do, Rob, and of course this guy right here, Peter Novak, he's an outstanding player for the Fire. He played in the German Bundesliga, one of the top players in MLS. Rob, the Fire fans here in Chicago are really going to love this guy, a great leader on the field and in the locker room.
Our starting lineups at opening kickoff are coming up next. This is Major League Soccer on Sports Channel Florida.
And this one was just perfect for us. The Victorian was what we wanted. It met our needs, and it touched our hearts. And it was our house.
It just makes sense.
Hi, at Gateway, getting the computer you want is simple. Let's say this is your basic computer.
The game is being brought to you by Lindell Honda, where people make the picture. Soccer Field. The game is soccer. The store is Soccer Field. Gateway Country Stores. Discover an easy way to buy a PC in Tampa and Clearwater. And by AT&T. It's all within your reach. Checking your NIA Water Eastern Conference standings. No surprise, DC United on top, but a very unaccustomed position for the Mutiny, Jim, down there at the bottom.
Well, it really is. And certainly both losses being at home, Rob, that's even more unusual. Columbus Crew in second place right now. They play DC tonight.
Moving over to the Marriott Western Conference standings, the Dallas Burn is off to the hot start. While things aren't going so well in San Jose, Kansas City still looking to play a game.
Yeah, Kansas City will play at home tonight against the Metro Stars, and of course Dallas will be at Houlihan's next Saturday night against the Mutiny.
Soldier Field ready for the first professional team to call this place home since 1984, the final year of the Chicago Sting.
Yeah, and it was a great time that the Sting had here in Chicago, Rob. And Soldier Field, a great venue for soccer. It hosted the opening game of the 1994 World Cup featuring Germany. A great scene and a great crowd here tonight for these Fire's home opener.
Checking our starting lineups. In goal for the Tampa Bay Mutiny, Thomas Ravelli. He's given up only one goal in 2 games, but still looking for win number 1. And now checking out our Gateway Country starting lineups.
And you can see, Rob, the defensive line for the Mutiny. Erickson is going to sneak up into midfield tonight. The Mutiny will play only 3 defenders at the back, so look for Jan Erickson to be in more of an attacking role this evening. The Mutiny midfielders will be highlighted tonight by Alan Prampin, who'll get his first start of the year. Gilmar is back in Tampa nursing an injured ankle, so Alan will get a shot here tonight along with the speedsters, Frankie Haydick, Steve Ralston, and then up front, Jacek Joubert. Rob, he's going to feel right at home. He's Polish, and boy, he wanted to play in this game ever so badly.
Moving over to goal for Chicago, Zach Thornton gets his 2nd straight start. Their starter's supposed to be Jorge Campos. He's off with the Mexican national team.
Well, in 2 games against the Mutiny for the Metro Stars, Zach Thornton has been lit up a little bit, giving up 7 goals. Kubik, the big guy in the back, keeps a check. One of the top defenders in this league. He'll be a tough one for the Mutiny to penetrate tonight. In the midfield for the Chicago Fire, Chris Armas was the big guy in the Jorge Campos trade. He came over from the Galaxy. He is an outstanding midfielder, as is Jorge Salcedo. And up front, another veteran American player tonight, along with Kosetsky. That's Frankie Klopas, who they got from the Columbus Crew before Klopas ever played a match in Columbus.
Your Chicago lineups brought to you by AT&T. Your referee tonight, one of the best in MLS, Essie Baharnes, and he will be assisted by Ali Sahili and Francisco Sanchez. The fourth official tonight, Manuel Arias. On the Mutiny bench for his second season, John Kowalski. Probably a little jet lag, came back early this morning from Bolivia.
Yeah, he did. He looked a little haggard walking into the hotel, but he was down there scouting players, brought back general manager Nick Stakevich, and good news about a couple of guys that the Mutiny hope to get, and he's ready to go tonight.
On the bench for the Chicago Fire, Bob Bradley, chief assistant to Bruce Arena the last 2 seasons with DC United, 12 years as head coach at Princeton.
Yeah, and he learned a lot under Bruce Arena. He has gotten this Fire off to the 1-0 start. We saw him in the preseason. This Bradley coach team, very disciplined, very well organized. I suspect we'll see that here tonight.
Klopas and Kosetsky in the circle, ready for the first kickoff in Fire history at home, and we're underway in Chicago.
And Rob, it seems very appropriate, the Fire wearing red.
Fire engine red to be exact. Kubik puts it outside as the Fire try to work it up and get past Erickson.
Well, Rob, both teams are going to play a 3-5-2. That's 3 defenders, 5 midfielders, and 2 forwards. And if both teams are on their game, you'll see a lot of opportunities in and around the goal area because 5 midfielders going forward can really make a difference in a game.
Long throw in by Dehaney toward midfield, knocked back the other way by the Fire. Back toward the Mutiny end. Foul call going the other way, so Chicago will bring the ball into the Mutiny offensive end of the field.
Yeah, look, it looks like they got Chris Hauser for the foul. He's an outstanding young player for the Mutiny. You'll hear a lot about him tonight.
And the Fire will start things off. Noack sends it outside. Back to Novak. Good slide away by Prampin. Throw in Chicago. Looking for Klopas inside, can't find him. Sneaking through, open space. Loose in the box and knocked away at the last moment by Duhaney.
Well, one thing we're going to see tonight from the Fire, with all these people in the stands, Rob, they are going to come out smoking, and they did that time. Nearly a goal-scoring opportunity.
Kinnear gets it over midfield for Hayda. Dominic tripped up. Dominic gets the foul call. And Yallop will send it away. Goal! Looking far down the flank for Ralston. Ralston with a man on. Gets it to the corner and the cross. Jack Thornton goes up, pulls it down. And Chicago will start out the other way.
And that time a good job by the Mutiny to use the width of the field. That is one thing that John Kowalski worked with his team all week on. The Mutiny, traditionally a team that builds up through the middle the last 2 years. They've got to go outside this year. Haven't been doing it. That was a good indication. Maybe tonight will be different.
Now Chicago on the attack again. Kosetsky. Taken away by Duhaney. Last year's Rookie of the Year takes off from midfield. Frankie Hayda. Up the flank for Joubert. Janssen gets around one. Looking back for Frankie. The cross. Knocked away by Chicago. Here's one thing we do know today. The Mutiny are going to be looking for a lot of low crosses to the near post.
Well, they are, because they told Roy Lassiter he needs to sit at the near post as often as possible to get himself in the best of all scoring positions.
Hedek on the near sideline. Cut off by Kacha. Former collegiate star at George Mason University. The kid has played more games at George Mason as a starter than anyone else.
And he was the number 2 pick in the college draft and scored a goal for the Fire in their opening win against the Fusion. They really like him here in Chicago.
Erickson throws it for Ralston. Ralston moves to the middle today. They're looking for him to be a distributor.
Yeah, and they really need him to do that, and that's the position that he likes to play. He has said if he had his choice, that's where he wants to be.
Kosetsky gets by Hauser. Hauser and takes off for the box. The Undertaker drags him down from behind, and the yellow card's coming out.
Yeah, it sure is. They're going to get Hauser. Hauser got turned right near the midfield line, and that is a rookie mistake by the big Tampa Bay Mutiny defender. And, Rob, the scary thing about that is that in a play like this where a guy is trailing a player, the league is cracking down on fouls from behind, and I'm glad that F.C. Bahamas only pulled out the yellow card and didn't pull out the other one.
Especially a bad mistake since it appears that Gallup was in position to help him out.
But that's one thing Hauser probably couldn't see, and I know as a rookie like that, he felt like, boy, he got by me. I got to go back and get him.
Novak and Kubik standing over the ball about 21 yards from the Mutiny goal. Far out to Ravelli's right. Kubik puts it into the middle. It's a loose ball in front, and knocked out. It'll be a goal kick for Tampa Bay. Zach Ibsen could not turn on that.
Yeah, Ibsen just recently joined the Fire, formerly played for the San Jose Clash. Pretty good young player, been around for a while, and a little surprised to see him start tonight. We didn't think he would be in the lineup.
Solid opportunity for the Fire, goes by the boards, and Ravelli's goal kick puts it back in play. Zobert can't control, and the Fire up and running. Jorge Salcedo puts it back outside for Armas. Armas tripped up. And the card is out again, and this time Ralston earns one. 2 quick cautions for the Mutiny.
Well, Armas got the quick step on Ralston that time, and Steve did what he had to do to prevent Armas from getting into goal-scoring position. He just cut him down.
Kachow puts it back toward the center. Salcedo tries to lift one in. Frampton in position to cut it back. Nicely controlled by Clopas. Frank turns with the left, dribbles one in, and Ravelli will pick it up, no problem.
Yeah, no problem that time. One thing about, though, the Fire forwards, they really turn well in tight spaces. When the ball gets in that box, the Mutiny will have to be really careful, and you'll see him, Rob, try to clear the ball out of there as much as possible.
Sent ahead by Ravelli in the air. Erickson pushes it toward the box. Mutiny will get a throw in near side. Jobert will leave it for Haydock. And Haydock will leave it for Hauser, who can throw it all the way across the field.
Well, let's see if the Fire knows what Chris Hauser can do when he makes the throw in. Oh, he takes an easy one.
Haydock puts it right back to the sideline for Hauser. Hauser getting dragged down. No call on the play. Chicago up and running. Heading for midfield, Kosetsky has a man streaking ahead. C.J. Brown leaves it behind. Shot over the top. Nice work on the right flank by C.J. Brown.
Yeah, C.J. got the ball just a step ahead of Alan Frampton on that one, and he basically just stopped on a dime, tapped it, left it back, and a near goal-scoring opportunity. Nice little back heel, and the shot taken goes well high and wide.
Goal kick by Ravelli will send it back the other way. Thomas just has a great leg. Sometimes outkicks everybody.
He sure does.
On the far side, Lassiter challenging Ibsen. Throw in Chicago. Clopas sneaks by Duhaney, but there's a foul call on Frank, so that'll bring it back the other way for Tampa Bay near midfield.
Yeah, Frankie Clopas looks a little bit in disbelief. Didn't like the call because he had wide open spaces on that right side for the Fire if he was able to keep going.
Longtime U.S. national, actually a native of Athens, Greece.
And really wanted to come back here to Chicago. Was traded to Columbus by Kansas City and basically said, I'm not going. I want to go back home to Chicago, and they got him here.
Frampton battling on the far side with Armas. Throw in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, first game with the away jerseys this season. A little bit different than last year. Thin blue stripes on a white shirt. In the center. Tap back Zobert to Haydock in the box. Taken away by the Fire. It's been a problem for the Mutiny a long time this season. Jim has been maintaining that possession up front and creating scoring chances.
Well, the two teams that they've played so far, Columbus and Miami, both high-pressure teams. They pressure the Mutiny all the time, and I think we'll see that tonight from the Fire as well. And they just have to start to put the passes together.
Near midfield, taken away by Kinnear. Kinnear tries to sneak one ahead for Haydock, but it's out in front of the Mutiny bench.
You see, that time it was not a good pass by Dominic because he passed it very hard to Frankie. He was already by the touchline. Frankie really didn't have any way to control it.
Can you stand up? Thank
Hauser goes up over the back of Kosetsky to win one. Haydock battling Kachow. Control taken at midfield by Kubik. Looking ahead for Kosetsky, but Hauser gets there first and bangs it into the crowd.
Well, and Kubik's the last line of defense for the Fire, but you'll see him come up in midfield like that, and boy, when he gets into the attack, that just makes the Fire even tougher.
Well, in 56 appearances with the Czech national team, Kubik has 12 goals. Not afraid to go forward. Got a battle near the end line, ball rolls out, and the call will be goal kick Tampa Bay, and 35,000 plus here in Chicago don't like it.
Yeah, they didn't like it at all, but Frank Yallop did a very good job that time. He was able to force the ball over the end line against the Fire, and Thomas Ravelli, trying to get his guys back up the field, said, I'm going to boot it away.
We don't have an official crowd count yet, but they had 27,000 pre-sold, and this stadium is over half full, and it seats 65,000.
Yeah, it's really a good crowd here tonight, considering the weather as cold as it is. But you know what? These Chicago fans, they don't care. They come out all the time in cold weather.
They're used to it.
Absolutely.
It's just cold for us people who come up from the south.
Yeah, they could have enclosed the booth here, though, don't you think?
Fire working the far side, looking ahead for Klopas. Klopas down near the corner, slide tackled away. Frank Yallop came over to take that one away.
And of course, Yallop's the guy in the middle of that three-man Mutiny defense, so he'll be a little bit of everywhere.
Klopas in the box, looking for Kosetsky. That's Hauser who sends it toward midfield. Ball headed back into the box. Ravelli will pick it up.
And a good job by Chris Hauser to come over that time. Keep in mind, he's playing the right side, but whenever that ball gets in the middle and there's no white jerseys there, you got to get there, and he did.
Center of the field, Ralston. Ahead for Erickson, tries to get one through for Jobert on a run. Cut off by C.J. Brown. They battle all the way to the end line. Goal kick, Fire.
Well,
Fans, the Mutiny's next home game is on April 11th against the Dallas Burn. Don't miss the American Airlines post-game concert by Aaron Neville and the Neville Brothers. Brought to you by Smooth Jazz, WSJT 94.1, and News Channel 8. Call 289-6811 for more information.
C.J. Brown is a 6-foot, 185-pound defender for the Fire, and Jacek Jobert, not nearly that big for the Mutiny. He's going to have trouble trying to get past him.
Near midfield, little pushing and shoving. Foul call against the Mutiny. Fire will be up with it. Ralston takes the foul. He's already got a caution, too. He's got to be careful. On the near side, Kachow. Kosetsky. Back to Novak.
One thing you can see here, too, Rob, you can see the Fire with 5 midfielders trying to use the entire width of the field just like the Mutiny. When you have that many men in the midfield, you've got to spread it out and use every inch you can.
Andrew Lewis working the far side. Drops one back for Novak. Chicago maintaining possession in the Mutiny end. Definitely had more of the possession here in the early going. From way out there, Lubos Kubik, he winds one up and lets it fly, and it's deep in the seats.
Well, it's like you said, Rob, he's not afraid to take shots if he gets up there. He is a long-range bomber and just decided to take advantage of it and just couldn't pull the trigger very well, so an easy goal kick now for the Mutiny.
Ravelli will stand over it. Pitches this one outside, and Haydock backheels it. Nice pick by Kinnear. Jobert heads one forward for Haydock. He gets it out off the Fire player, so Tampa Bay gets the throw-in. Another opportunity here maybe for Hauser.
I think they're going to say it went out off of Tampa Bay, or maybe a handball called against Frankie Haydock. He's in a little bit of disbelief himself, but it will be Fire throw-in.
Frankie was getting ready to set it up. Johanny bangs one forward. Andrew Lewis will chase it toward the corner, decided not to use his keeper, and almost got in big trouble.
Yeah, he made a very poor play that time, a poor read by Lewis. He just whacked the ball back behind him and then had to chase it down. Could have been an opportunity for the Mutiny.
Novak. Kachow. Novak sends it back the other way. Jorge Salcedo. Another UCLA product.
Yes, Salcedo played for the Galaxy and for the Columbus Crew, picked up in the expansion draft by Chicago. He's played a little bit of defensive midfield, also dropping back to become the fourth defender when they need it.
Mutiny just allowing the Fire to bring it across, not pressuring the other way. Kosetsky has a couple of players around him, taken away by the Mutiny. Looking ahead for Lassiter, and that's been a problem, trying to find Roy Lassiter in open spaces where he can do the most damage.
Yeah, it certainly has been, Rob, and that time, had the ball gotten through to Roy, he would have been able to take it down that left flank.
Kinnear looking for Haydock, has it cut off by Kochow.
Well, that time Dominic tried to make the tough pass, and it was an easy pickup that time by Kochow.
Duhaney can't control it. Salcedo sends it up the other way. Fire on the run. Taken away by Hauser. And Ralston will help get it out of trouble.
Well, Duhaney tracked back very nicely that time after getting beat on the play. He was the one who made it possible.
Steve Ralston wearing gloves tonight. A native of St. Louis, I thought he'd be used to this.
You would think so, but there are a lot of guys out there with gloves tonight.
And he's been to Florida a long time, too. Had his time in Florida International before he came up to Tampa Bay.
Well, but there's Frank, Frank Yallop, he doesn't wear gloves, does he? I played in England for 16 years. This is nothing.
He's a native of Vancouver. This is spring. Got a Chicago player down on the far side, Roman Kosetsky, rubbing his right knee.
It looked like he took a pretty good shot. We get a look at Kosetsky there just being knocked down by Frank Yallop, and then he just sort of tumbles into the boards that are very close to the touchline on the far side of the field.
Got a field here in Soldier Field that is similar to the dimensions when we don't have a concert stage at Houlihan Stadium.
That's right. 116 by 68, and this field though doesn't have a crown like Houlihan's does, so the ball rolls pretty flat on it.
Novak from the far side bangs one off the head of a Mutiny player into the box. Bicycle kick over the top by Clovis.
Wow, what a shot by Frankie Clovis. That would have lit this crowd up if he could have just put it on goal, and he didn't miss it by much. An outstanding effort by Frankie Clovis, and the fans here in Chicago really love him. The cross was good. Clovis got in position. He got it over Duhaney, but he just got too much under it and kicked it over the top.
Some people may have wondered if at age 31 Clovis could still do that.
He sure can. He's a pretty good player.
Haydock using Lassiter. Lassiter on the near sideline. In the middle. Roy Lassiter streaking through the box. He's got some room. Can't control the ball. And Zach Thornton comes up to take it away. Roy Lassiter looked like he had a great opportunity 8 yards wide of the goal.
Yeah, wrong foot for Roy Lassiter. He's basically a left footer. Got that one on his right and couldn't do anything with it.
By far the best opportunity for the Mutiny today. Yallop sends one back to midfield. The scoring opportunities are beginning to pop up here in the first half as we're almost about halfway through.
And you can see that time the Fire tried to counterattack after the Lassiter miss. And Tampa Bay doing a very good job of getting back. One thing about this Mutiny team, Rob, they won't get beat on counters very often. They're much quicker as a team than they were a year ago.
And they're even faster this week with the addition of Alan Frampton on that left side.
Roy Lassiter just could not get his right foot on the ball, and you can see it rolls weakly to Zach Thornton, who had no trouble getting it. Again, Rob, you put that on the left side, he's going to crack it.
Big sigh of relief from Zach Thornton. Haydock with some room near sideline. Frankie looking for a cross, and that wasn't a real good attempt as it sails out wide of the goal. It was either a bad cross or a bad shot. I really can't tell what it was.
Well, I think he was trying to cross it inside, and Haydock just didn't get any of it, and that's a little uncharacteristic for him.
Whether you need drinks, snacks, or gas, shop with a Mutiny shop at Shell convenience stores located throughout the Tampa Bay area. At midfield, Kinnear. Pushes to Ralston. Ralston uses Lassiter. Backheel goes nowhere. We do have a foul call inside.
It was going to be a give and go with Ralston, and Ralston got obstructed in there. So the Mutiny will get a free kick, but a pretty far distance from goal.
It'll be dead center, but a good 35 to 40 yards away from Zach Thornton.
One thing, Rob, Dominic Kinnear the last 2-3 times at the Mutiny made some really good plays. Great tackle there, got the ball back, and he was the guy that threaded the needle through to Lassiter that gave Roy an opportunity.
Fire struggling to set up their wall. Kinnear, Yallop, Erickson all surrounding the ball. Yallop approaches, big right foot wide. Frank Yallop, 54 games, still looking for that first MLS point.
Didn't get it that time, and you can see Frank not happy with it at all. Frank does have a good right foot, and when he strikes it, normally he hits it on target, but he hit it to his right immediately, whacked it well out of play.
Thornton puts it back in with a goal kick. As we approach the 26-minute mark here in the first half, scoreless the Tampa Bay Mutiny and Chicago Fire on Sports Channel Florida. Moving up the other way, Armas. Looking ahead, Kochow taken down by Haydock, and Frankie's off and running.
Boy, what a great play by Haydock. A great tackle to get the ball back. That's what the Mutiny needed.
Nice touch from Lassiter. Back to Ralston. The Mutiny on the run. Ralston has it ahead for Joubert. Just offside. The flag goes up. Boy, that was close. Joubert would have been off and running.
Yeah, he really would have been. It was an outstanding effort by the Mutiny and an effective counterattack that time. Tampa Bay saw Chicago caught up, took advantage of it, and Joubert an eyelash offside call.
That's the veteran Kubik, who just snuck up at the last second to catch Joubert going the other way.
Well, that's the Czechoslovakian against the Polish player for the Mutiny, and both guys really know how to play this game.
Jacek really struggling with an ankle problem this week, but there was no way to keep him out of this game.
Not a chance.
Clovis working down against Hauser and Haydock. Gets some help from Kinnear. Hauser clears it back, taken right back by the Fire. Kochow has Clovis in the box. Takes it down to the end line. The cross. And Kinnear steers it out of trouble.
Well, the Mutiny pretty fortunate that time. Chris Hauser a little bit in no man's land. Once he got inside, they found the opening outside, and that's the problem with a three-man back line sometimes, Rob. You don't have enough numbers back there, and the Mutiny that time didn't track back to help out as quickly as they needed to.
Chris Hauser, of course, only his third game in Major League Soccer. He's a guy who's used to being a central defender in a traditional four-man back line. It's a little different for him being on the outside.
Absolutely. He's got more ground to cover. He doesn't cover it straight ahead, too. He covers it side to side. Much different for him to play.
Hauser bangs one ahead, no one near it. It'll roll all the way out and create a deep throw-in for the Chicago Fire. Mutiny fans, do you want to look like the players? Then get all your team gear at the Mutiny Ticket Office and Pro Shop. For more information, call 289-6811. C.J. Brown deep in the near corner to throw in for Chicago. Battle in the air, and Hauser's not going to lose too many of those. Haydock just got kicked in the face and then kicked in the head with the ball. And Frankie goes to retaliate, and the yellow card comes out, shown to C.J. Brown. Now, Frankie's got to get away from the altercation here and make sure he doesn't pick one up himself.
Yeah, you know, he got double whammied on that one. He got hit the first time, then hit again, and the second one was the one that got him mad, and he just reacted and went at C.J. Brown. And in that kind of situation, Rob, we've seen it before. Guy will give him the second yellow on that play.
Armas going for a high ball, kicked him in the face, and then after that, C.J. Brown kicked the loose ball, and the ball hit Haydock in the head.
Yeah, it was one of those that Frankie went down hard, and then all of a sudden he got hit again, and I think he might have thought that he got kicked, but he actually got hit with the ball.
Joubert crosses one into the box. Headed away. And Chicago has some numbers. Ibsen coming down the far side. Battling with Hauser. And Crampton comes up to strip one away from Andrew Lewis.
And you can see on that one, that time Hauser had to come all the way over to the left side. Whenever there's a build-up and a counterattack like that, you just get back and get someone, and that's what he did.
Alan Crampton, 12 starts last year for the Super Sub, including a couple at defense.
Well, he's been playing mostly on the left side of midfield for the Mutiny during the preseason.
C.J. Brown works it back. Kochow. Touch for Novak to Kosetsky. Back for Salcedo. Knocked away by Duhaney. Lassiter in a race, but doesn't have enough room to catch up. Kochow will play it out. Trying to sneak one ahead for Kosetsky behind the play, but it's cut off by Yallop. Loose ball in midfield. Ralston can't win the battle. Clovis puts it ahead for Kosetsky. Has Yallop in between him and the goal. Steps into the box. Around Yallop to the end line. Ball rolls out. Goal kick, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Kosetsky just flat ran out of room that time. That last touch, as he was trying to get it to the end line, cut it back, he just kicked it too hard.
Tune into the next Sports Channel Florida telecast Saturday, April 25th at 10:30 p.m. as Steve Ralston and the Mutiny take on the Galaxy.
Kosetsky just, that push with Gallup right beside him, I think Frank helped him out a little bit. Kosetsky knew that he had to get a lot on that kick to get it by Gallup, but he got too much on it.
Both teams have had their chances here in the early going, though, a scoreless first half. Ibsen pitches it ahead. Salcedo. Kosetsky onto the far side. Lewis. Tapped ahead toward the corner, cut off by Frampton. Throw in Chicago. Kosetsky leaves it behind. Into the box. Nicely cut off with some help from Stevie Ralston.
And it looks like they're going to award a corner to the Fire on the far side of the field as Ralston, just in a last-ditch effort there, knocked the ball over the end line.
Peter Novak will set the corner up far side. Novak setting it up for his left foot. He'll be curling it into Ravelli. Out in the box, knocked down and taken out by the Mutiny. A dangerous ball won by Ralston. Looking ahead for Lassiter, cut off by C.J. Brown.
Oh, good job that time by Steve Ralston. Got out quickly, was able to get up and clear the ball out of danger before Chicago could do anything with it.
Big throw downfield by Hauser, can't find Hayter, cut off by Kacha. At midfield, Kinnear controls. Dominic pitches ahead for Schober, who loses it. And up with it and going is Novak. Frampton coming back to help, far side. Novak and Frampton in a race on the sideline. Frampton forces him back the other way. Novak set up a left-footed shot that rolls wide. Goal kick for Ravelli.
Yeah, that time Novak, great speed down the right side. And Alan Frampton can run pretty well. And it took Alan a while to catch Novak. And this is a veteran guy who's played a lot of soccer in his time. And boy, he looked very, very sharp on that play.
Jim, we know how sharp Major League Soccer is when it comes to marketing. And you know these Fire jerseys are going to be big sellers. They're good looking.
Oh, they are. They really are very nice. The Mutiny Road uniform, very nice too. I like the stripes and everything. And for us in the press box, we can read numbers and can't argue with that.
As long as we can read the numbers, they're great jerseys.
That's right.
Salcedo across midfield. Frampton once again with the legs. One thing about Alan Frampton, he'll never get tired.
Yeah, good job that time by Alan Frampton too, because he came all the way back that time and forced Zach Gibson to knock the ball over the end line for a Mutiny goal kick. Frampton just has a great deal of speed, and then he's also real stocky. You know, he's low to the ground. He gets in the way of the ball, and Ibsen, only thing he can do is knock him over and watch it go over the end line.
Doesn't mind being called the super sub, but this is a guy who just loves to play and will take as many minutes as you give him, and he'll run all 90.
Well, one thing about Allen, last week against the Fusion, he came in, lit a little spark for the Mutiny, and I think that's what got him a chance to play tonight.
That and the fact that Gilmar, back home in Tampa Bay after an ankle injury, kept him out of practice all week.
Well, it did. He couldn't practice, and of course, under John Kowalski, you don't practice, you don't play, and that's what happened to Gilmar.
Johanny gets around Clopas. Looking ahead for Lassiter, but Zach Thornton will be there. Zach, an interesting story. 2 years as a backup for the Metro Stars. Now gets an opportunity to play with Campos doing an extended tour with the Mexican national team.
Well, it looks like Campos may not be in Chicago until July, so Zach Thornton's going to get a lot of minutes.
Hauser runs off Kosetsky. Frampton wins and finds Ralston. Quick touch for Schober. Schober gets one ahead for Lassiter, who was definitely offsides on the play.
Yes, he was, but you know, that's what the Mutiny need right there. They need to get Lassiter up on the last defender, try to spring him loose. If he's offside 6 times, the 7th time he's going to get through.
Kachow's ball ahead. We've got a takedown, and that's going to do it for Hauser. Chris Hauser on the takedown has been given his second caution of the game. The Mutiny will be a man down with 16:55 remaining in the first half and a whole 45 to go. This is a very deep hole for Tampa Bay to be in.
Well, it really is. Chris Hauser, a rookie mistake that time, and he paid full price for it. It was his second yellow card of the match, and it was a hard tackle from behind. John Kowalski now going to have to reorganize a little bit because the Mutiny will be forced to play with 10 men for the rest of the game, and it was a pretty hard hit. Frankie Klopas getting up very, very slowly.
Well, Chris Hauser, 2 takedowns from behind here in the early going.
Well, just one of those balls that Hauser trying to come up to defend, and he clipped Klopas from behind as Klopas was making the turn. Looked like he had a chance to run the ball down heading to that left flank, and when he hit the deck, he knew right then Chris Hauser was gone.
Well, with Erickson in the lineup, he can certainly slide back into more of a defensive posture here, as the Mutiny will have to reorganize now with 10 men and a lot of time left on the clock in a scoreless game.
Well, in a situation like this, a lot of times you do want to get that guy back now, and Jan Erickson, as you mentioned, is the most likely candidate to do it.
Especially when you were only playing a 3-back to begin with. Well, Chicago will see if they can take advantage into the box. Kosetsky tries to head one in and knocked away by Kinnear. Poor ball by Andrew Lewis, who sends one up into the crowd, so the Mutiny will have an opportunity to throw in far side. How does the strategy change now when you're playing with 10?
Well, I think for the Mutiny right now, they'll probably go to a 4-4-1 and play Roy Lassiter as the lone forward up front, and it'll be up to the Mutiny to try to spring him loose and get him some good balls.
Novak has the turnover, takes it to the D, left-footed shot, wide of Ravelli. Not by much, but Thomas was there.
Thomas just very, very unhappy at his teammates, imploring them that when a guy turns, puts it on his left, and has Novak's skill, someone has got to get out there and close him down. Novak made a nice move, and Jacek Zober just flat out couldn't get there, and Thomas Ravelli let everybody on the field know his displeasure on that play.
Ravelli tees up his goal kick, looking for Hayduk. Hayduk's header gets to Lassiter, back to Frankie. Lassiter near midfield. It's Frampton. Frampton to Zober. Zober's ball for Ralston, taken away. Salcedo starts the attack. Kosetsky comes in from the side. Down to the end line, but cross. Too far out. Ibsen will pull it out in the corner. Looking for Salcedo, but Duhaney comes back to help. Toward the middle, Kubik. And cleared away by Zober.
And whenever you clear a ball away like that, Rob, you've got to get the defense back up as quickly as you can to establish that line, and Mutiny have done that right near the half line. All defenders back up.
Jacek Zober going way back now. Lassiter the lone forward. In again come the fire. Kosetsky on the end line far side. Drops one back. Big right foot. Oh, that would be a field goal and then some if the Bears were in town. Oh, man, Ibsen just really got underneath that one.
Yeah, very poor shot by Zach Ibsen, and that's one of the reasons why I was a little surprised that he was in the lineup. This thing was set up for him, tailor-made. He's about 16 away. If he just hits the ball down low on target, something bad could happen to the Mutiny. And Ibsen talking to his teammates talking to him, and boy, right now he's an unhappy guy.
Now with this kind of crowd, the adrenaline's going to be pumping for the Fire, playing their first ever home game. Frampton. Too far out in front for Hayduk.
Well, one thing that's happened to the Mutiny is that Alan Frampton has moved over to the right side from the left side, and that is probably better for Alan, who's got a little bit better right than he does left, and we'll see how they align this thing. It looks like Frampton's going to be that right-sided midfielder with Dominic Kinnear moving over far left.
Fans, the Mutiny's next home game is April 11th against the Dallas Burn. Don't forget the American Airlines post-game concert by Aaron Neville and the Neville Brothers, brought to you by Smooth Jazz, 94.1 WSJT. Call 289-6811 for more information. Near midfield, Chicago trying to light that fire. Cut off by Duhaney. One back by Salcedo. Jorge sneaks one into Klopas in the box. Apparently, Frank got ahead of the play offside.
He was offside. A nice idea, though, by the Fire, because Lopez had possession inside the penalty box, but he jumped the gun just a little bit.
Mutiny will be on their heels for much of the remainder of this contest, playing down a man. 12:50 remaining in this first half. Still a second half to come.
Well, maybe some good news out of that is that the coolness will probably not allow anyone to get tired unless they're just not in shape. There's not going to be any hot night here tonight, and that may help playing with 10 guys.
They actually want to run on a night like tonight. Near midfield, a tangle between C.J. Brown and Roy Lassiter, and Lassiter will be whistled for the foul. Roy Lassiter is a frustrated player over these first few games.
And he's just looking to get the ball where he likes it, and the Mutiny have had trouble doing that, but Roy also needs to make some good runs. It's been kind of a two-way situation. Every once in a while you see that good diagonal run out of him, but not as much as we've seen in the past.
Roy had the best scoring opportunity for the Mutiny here in the first half, but couldn't get his right foot around the ball.
Yeah, great pass by Dominic Kinnear set it up.
Mutiny working out of their own end. Erickson and Kinnear together. Erickson has it stripped away. Duhaney comes to help back as Kubik battles for the ball. Kubik really pushing up now with the man advantage. And on the far side, Duhaney loses Ibsen to throw in.
Well, the Fire can smell a little blood right now. They would like to get on the board before halftime.
Looking for Kosetsky in the box. Crampton gets in the way. And Ravelli picks up the loose ball and quickly rolls it out. Alan Crampton sits on the back line last season, helped on that play.
Well, it really did. And, Alan that time trying to get the ball to Roy Lassiter. Lassiter back behind the half line. He's not going to score many goals back there, but he's just trying to get into the game, get a few touches.
Also use his legs to help out now that his team is down a man. Dominic Kinnear working around Novak. Finds Crampton. Has a little room with Haydock. Crampton with two men on loses the handle. Had Frankie Haydock to his right but decided not to use it.
Yeah, Allen just tried to do too much that time. You can't take on two guys like he did. He should have touched it wide right to Haydock.
Long ball for Kosetsky too far in front. And the Bay will throw it the other way. Frankie Allen picks it up. Ralston gets one ahead. Erickson can't find it. Throw it, Tampa Bay. Ralston will leave it for Yalom. Of course, Hauser being out with the caution, you lose your best throw-in guy.
And that is a weapon for you, no question.
Chicago to work out of their own again. Salcedo. Back Ibsen. Novak. Into the box. Shot save Ravelli. Oh, the Viking robbed them that time.
Boy, an excellent save by Ravelli, who immediately will kick the ball out of play because of an injured Mutiny player in the box on the play.
Chris Armas had a golden opportunity, and Ravelli dumped him out. The way you see who the Mutiny down player is. Hard to see from our vantage point.
Well, Ravelli is leaning over him, trying to make sure he's okay. Mutiny trainer Nancy Martin is ready to come on the field. It looks like it might be Ralston back there. And he is getting up ever so slowly. It was just one of those eyelash plays, a good opportunity by the Fire, good through ball, and the shot cracked, and Ravelli just did a great job of getting down on it. That is just a flat-out reaction save, and Thomas Ravelli was up to it. You can see as the shot comes through, it looks like Ralston gets tripped by Duhaney on the play. One of those things where two guys are coming in to try to help out, and Ralston got the worst end of it.
Now Raleigh is up, moving kind of slowly, but he's staying in the game. So apparently Steve Ralston will be okay. And Ravelli will put it back into play.
And really a tremendous play by Ravelli, the first really good scoring opportunity for either team, and Thomas Ravelli looked like the international player that he is on that one.
The most decorated keeper as far as caps are concerned in soccer history.
143 playing for his native country, Sweden.
Haydock with a long one to the far post. Zach Thornton goes up to pull it down. Not a bad shot out of Frankie.
Well, not a bad one at all, and that's what Frankie can do, but that's where you got to get someone on the near post, and Frankie might have been better just to hold it a little bit, although he was trying to catch Thornton off his line a little bit, and the goalkeeper got back nicely.
Near midfield, Salcedo. Sends it out the other way for Novak. Back for Armas, probably still thinking about that shot.
Well, he really hit a good shot, though, and that's what Chris Armas can give you. People call him a defensive midfielder, but hey, he can get forward and can hurt you.
Lassiter and Ralston work it out near midfield, back toward Eriksson. Eriksson can't get it to Jobert. Jorge Salcedo does a nice job controlling the middle of the field.
Well, he has. He's been controlling it from a defensive midfielder's role.
Zach Ibsen finds Armas, chips one ahead, knocked out by Duhaney. Chicago really beginning to bear down, and the Mutiny circling the wagons. Ibsen in the box. Forced to retreat. And he'll just bang one off the Mutiny player to get the corner kick.
Well, Dominic Kinnear just staying right with him on the play and couldn't do anything else but knock it over the end line for a corner.
Fans, go to the MLS All-Star Game in Orlando for free this year. Call the Mutiny Ticket Office, purchase season tickets, and with every purchase you get a free All-Star ticket. Call 289-6811 for information. Novak to curl it in, and the wind blows the ball off the mark. They'll have to set it up again. And we are right off the lake, and we are in the Windy City tonight.
Yes, we are. That's probably the nicest way to say it.
Novak drives one, headed towards the goal and wide. Looks like Kachow got up there, but couldn't get it back in the right direction.
Well, that time Novak decided not to try to curl it in towards Ravelli because the Mutiny been doing a very good job of covering that. He sent it outside, hoped Kachow could get ahead on it, and just couldn't get anything on it at all.
Of course, without Hauser in the game, the Mutiny have also lost their best air presence.
Yes, they have, and he is a big-time presence in the back, especially on those corners.
Looking ahead for Haydock. And the Mutiny will get it back. Frankie has been getting good control down there in the corners.
Yeah, that was a very sweet pass by Jan Eriksson to set him up.
Jobert loses the handle. Novak takes off for midfield. Pitches it out for Ibsen. Ibsen mishandles it, gives Ralston a chance to get back into play. Kachow. Ahead for Kasetsky. Kasetsky stopped by Frampton. Roman wins it back. Roman works his way around Jobert into the box, blocked by Yala. Shot from deep by Armas, and this one sails into the crowd.
Oh, boy, what a play by Kasetsky. Split two Mutiny players on that one and gave his team a chance to score. This time Armas not nearly as active as the last time. Kasetsky just goes around Frampton, then cuts it back by Jobert. All of a sudden, he's looking at an opportunity. Yalop got his arm in the way of it, knocked it back, and Armas would probably like to have that one back. Didn't hit that one at all.
Boy, the way Kasetsky weaves through traffic, we could have used him on the loop this afternoon.
That's for sure. He's a good one.
Roman Kasetsky playing in his 5th country now. He has made the way around in his career. Poland, Turkey, Spain, and France. Now playing here in the USA and MLS.
Boy, and you can see it's very tight control on the ball. He's just an excellent handler of it when he gets it down deep.
Kubik coming through the middle. Chips one in, blocked by Duhaney. Under 5 minutes now in the first half, still scoreless. Mutiny have been playing with 10 men now for about 8 minutes.
And Rob, it's really important for the Mutiny to try to hold the fort here a little bit. They get into that locker room scoreless, they won't be in bad shape.
Kasetsky tries to cross, and Ravelli gets up for a little air traffic control.
Yeah, good job by Thomas Ravelli. Great cross cutback, though, by Kasetsky, but Ravelli equal to the task again for the Mutiny.
And Ravelli just bangs it out of there, so the Fire will be bringing it back the other way.
And that's kind of what's been happening a little bit here now. The Mutiny kind of getting back on its heels a little bit, trying to make the plays defensively.
Kasetsky ahead of the play around Duhaney down to the end line. And his drop back pass goes to Eriksson, who loses the handle. In comes Ibsen, shot blocked by Duhaney. Ibsen crosses it up. Haydock gets ahead out of the box. Costly turnover by Erickson. The Mutiny did a good job dodging that ball.
Well, they really did. He just kind of slipped down, could not keep his feet, and Mutiny were in some trouble and still are.
Kasetsky works his way around Duhaney. A lot of pushing and shoving. Big shot, just wide. Hit the side of the net. Peter Novak, and Thomas Ravelli knows he dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, he really did. Novak took a heck of a shot, but he just got it off the side netting. Ravelli and the Mutiny that time back on their heels. Thomas would not have been able to do much with that. A good cut inside, got by Duhaney. When you leave it like that for a player of Novak's caliber, boy, all you can do is duck and hope.
A lot of the crowd on our side of the field thinks that one was in the goal. They're still cheering like it was a goal, but luckily for the Mutiny, it hit the side of the net.
Yeah, very much so. And again, it clearly hit the side. It wasn't close to going in.
Kasetsky, drop one back for Salcedo, tripped up. Haney comes to help clear it out. Haydock there as well. On the near side, Kochow. Tried to feed one into the middle, blocked by Haydock. Ralston up to the center of the field, pushed off the ball, helped out by Haydock, won by Novak. Peter's ball to the front, put out too far for Andrew Lewis. The Mutiny put it into the sideline. Tune into the next Sports Channel Florida telecast Saturday, April 25th, 10:30 p.m. Steve Ralston and the Mutiny take on the LA Galaxy. Novak sends it all the way across to Ibsen. Zach bears down on Kinnear. Works his way around him. Into the box. Clopas steps around one. Shot, goal! Frank Clopas cannot give him the ball with room in the box. It's a 1-0 Chicago lead.
No, you can't, Robin. That time, the Mutiny got victimized by a switch from left to right. When you're only playing with 10, it's very difficult to not be taken aback by a switch like that. When they got it over to the right, that's all they needed to cross into the box, and Clopas was able to put it home, and he got open in there. There just wasn't a whole lot Thomas Ravelli could do about it.
Frank Clopas with the goal, the first ever at Soldier Field for the Chicago Fire. They lead the Mutiny 1-0. A minute 40 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, killer time for the goal too, Rob. We've talked about wanting to try to get into the locker room scoreless, playing with 10. That goal by Clopas changes the complexion here a little bit.
Well, Haydock took the kickoff all the way down to the corner. Thought he should get a corner kick, but lost the handle. It'll be a goal kick for Zach Thornton.
Frankie Clopas said he wanted to come back to play here in Chicago, and boy, when that first ball went in, he was all over jumping around for the fans, and they loved it.
No shot at all for Thomas Ravelli on the play.
Clopas was able to get himself open. Ibsen did a nice job of getting the ball inside, and Clopas just got right around Mike Duhaney. When that happened, Ravelli had to commit, and it was an easy right-to-left shot to the far post for Clopas.
Well, Duhaney slid across, got a heel on the ball, but couldn't wrestle it away from Clopas, and then Clopas was standing there all alone with the ball in his right foot, and like he's done so many times before, he buried it. Kochow. 35 seconds remaining. Looking for Kasetsky near the end line. Roman gets it back just over the end line. Goal kick. Very close to being another dangerous play.
Well, it was. Kasetsky tried to get there, but it was pretty clear, even from our vantage point, that the ball had crossed over the end line completely.
Well, the Mutiny here will just be good to escape this first half with any more damage done. Get into the locker room down 1-0.
Well, they need to do that because, 1-0 is not an insurmountable advantage by any stretch of the imagination, but they're going to have to reorganize a little bit. They're going to have to play the rest of the game with 10 men.
Well, time will run off in the first half, but 43 minutes in, Frank Clopas put the Chicago Fire ahead 1-0 in their home opener against the Tampa Bay Mutiny. The Mutiny will go into the locker room down a goal and know they're coming back to play the next 45 minutes down a man. Clopas beating Ravelli to his right. The Mutiny trail by 1 at the half. Plenty more to come from Soldier Field in Chicago. Stay with us. This is Major League Soccer on Sports Channel Florida.
Register at every Mutiny game for the Gateway Country Store's halftime $1 million shootout.
From hard-hitting investigations to stories you have to see to believe, something special happens when 28 Tampa Bay News goes on special assignment. We showed you how some repairmen take advantage of your ignorance. Our cameras caught what dogs do when you're not around. And only 28 Tampa Bay News shared the amazing story of how the Shriners are helping local burned children. Something special happens when we go on special assignment. Only on 28 Tampa Bay News. Real people, real news.
What happens when you take a leader in regional sports and combine that with the best sports news and information service on the globe? You get Sports Channel Florida. Sports Channel and CNNSI have teamed up to bring the best live regional sports coverage of the Florida teams that matter to you. And the diverse world of sports with the power of CNN and the insight of Sports Illustrated. Turn to Sports Channel for CNNSI and get your fill of 100% pure Florida sports. When it's a hockey night in South Florida, it's Panthers Tonight on Sports Channel. Panthers Tonight is a complete 4-hour block of Panthers hockey and programming. 30 minutes before the puck drops, Jeff Rimmer and Dennis Bachman take you through the pregame paces. Then, bookcasing the periods, Eric Goodman in the Panthers Tonight studio takes you around the league for scores and highlights. When it's hockey night in South Florida, make it Panthers Tonight on Sports Channel. Sports Channel is 100% pure Florida sports.
Imagine getting all the details of Jaguars games and activities.
10:45!
Imagine having revealing conversations with Jaguars insiders. That's what you get with Inside Report, the official team newspaper of the Jacksonville Jaguars. To order your subscription, call 1-888-8-GO-JAG. Jaguars Inside Report. Any closer, and you could get hurt.
To dream of cheering for the home team. To dream of heroes you can finally call your own. They're a dream come true. The inaugural season of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, all season long on Sports Channel's Baseball Night in Florida.
Welcome back to Soldier Field in Chicago. We're at halftime of the game between the Tampa Bay Mutiny and the Chicago Fire. Right now it's time for a new season of MLS. This stuff kicks. MLS, this stuff kicks. In '98, everyone will be gunning for DC United as the team to beat in the Eastern Conference after winning MLS Cup '97. Their second championship in as many years. In the Western Conference, the Wizards will try to raise their success to a new level with the magical left foot of Brecky. But in Tampa Bay, the Mutiny will be expecting big things from Swedish national keeper Thomas Ravelli, who will add charisma and leadership in the back. Defender Mike Duhaney explains.
I think now we're focusing on being more defensive, coming out of the back safely, not giving up anything stupid like we did last year. We had a lot of counterattacks, and that was because we had guys like myself, Frankie, going forward a lot more. So we got to be careful of that this year.
Keep an eye on the Mutiny as they battle for the Eastern Conference crown. MLS, this stuff kicks. Highlights and stats still to come. This is MLS on Sports Channel Florida.
I like that pen.
It's great for checking email. I've got to get to Chicago.
We're going to L.A.
American Airlines, this is Shannon.
It's funny, you never know where a call is coming from.
Just found out I'm a grandfather.
Oh, congratulations.
She just had a baby.
Or who it's coming from.
I've arranged for an agent to get you to the next...
You kind of have to be ready for anything.
How are they doing?
They're both doing fine, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Reed, for calling American Airlines.
That's what I like about this job.
Congratulations.
So likable!
You kids have that refrigerator open again.
We're the likables.
I'm Frankie Frank, the coolest hot dog of all.
I'm Billy Baloney. And you'll love the taste of every Freshness Dated Likes product you buy. Hey. Mom.
Likes, families love us. We're the likable.
Hi, at Gateway, getting the computer you want is simple. Let's say this is your basic computer.
You want lots of memory?
Sure.
Great speakers. Maybe more memory. No problem. A big monitor? Maybe not that big.
The new Pentium 2 processor. See, we built your computer exactly how you want it. So, it ends up as individual as you are.
Gateway computers feature the Intel Pentium 2 processor. Call 1-800-GATEWAY. We'll build one for you.
You know, I've been telling you about the AT&T One Rate plan.
One rate anytime.
Well, now there's the AT&T One Rate International plan.
International?
Yeah, each country has its own low rate on calls from home anytime. What country? Almost any country you can think of.
Each with its own low rate.
Exactly.
One rate to Sweden anytime.
Yeah.
I can call Chile.
Yeah, Chile would love to hear from you.
What do you know in Chile?
Like you're so busy calling Sweden.
I can call Sweden.
All right, what happened there?
One low rate per country, anytime. The AT&T One Rate International plan.
Want to win $1 million? Register at every Mutiny game for the Gateway Country Store's halftime $1 million shootout.
Their flashes have captured the most glamorous people in the world. But after the controversial death of Princess Diana, their profession has come under attack. Follow the paparazzi and see for yourself how they get the pictures we love to see. Special assignment, Paparazzi. Tonight, only on 28 Tampa Bay News at 11. Today is a good day because you never see clear skies in Los Angeles. 28 Tampa Bay News. Real people, real news.
The Mutiny and Chicago Fire are at the half in chilly Chicago. Fans, the Mutiny's next home game is April 11th against the Dallas Burn. Don't miss the American Airlines post-game concert by Aaron Neville and the Neville Brothers. Brought to you by Smooth Jazz, WSJT 94.1 and News Channel 8. Call 289-6811 for more information.
This copyrighted telecast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.
Highlights, stats, and the second half coming up next. This is MLS on Sports Channel Florida.
I like that thing.
It's great for checking email. I've got to get to Chicago.
We're going to L.A.
American Airlines, this is Shannon.
Funny, you never know where a call is coming from.
Just found out I'm a grandfather.
Oh, congratulations.
Just had a baby.
Or who it's coming from.
I've arranged for an agent to get you to the next...
You kind of have to be ready for anything.
How are they doing?
They're both doing fine, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Reed, for calling American Airlines.
That's what I like about this job.
Congratulations.
So likable!
You kids have that refrigerator open again.
It's Betty Bacon! We're the likables!
I'm Frankie Frank, the coolest hot dog of all.
I'm Billy Baloney. And you'll love the taste of every Freshness Dated Likes product you buy. Hey. Mom.
Likes, families love us. We're the likable.
Championships are made with players like this fella. We're so excited about his return. He has a way of getting the crowd into the game, and I think that's important. You need big bats. You need heavy lumber in there. Somebody who's not afraid to take one in the chin or even in the nose. Every day on Sports Channel, you'll get to see a guy with a real nose for offense.
What happens when you take a leader in regional sports and combine that with the best sports news and information service on the globe? You get Sports Channel Florida. Sports Channel and CNNSI have teamed up to bring you the best live regional sports coverage of the Florida teams that matter to you and the diverse world of sports with the power of CNN. and the inside of Sports Illustrated. Turn to Sports Channel for CNNSI and get your fill of 100% pure Florida sports. The Panthers take on the Penguins this Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Sports Channel is 100% pure Florida sports.
Capture the magic of the Marlins' first ever World Championship. This brilliant 13 by 16-inch plaque includes the full-color team picture, World Series, and Florida Marlins logos, roster, and complete season record. This exclusive collector's piece can be yours for only $49.95. It's the only officially licensed Major League Baseball and World Series plaque offered. To order your piece of baseball history, call 1-800-726-0425 or send payment to the address below. Share in the excitement of the Marlins' first World Series victory. Call now.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Lindell Honda, where people make the picture. Soccer Field. The game is soccer. The store is Soccer Field. Gateway Country Stores. Discover an easy way to buy a PC in Tampa and Clearwater. And by AT&T. It's all within your reach. Welcome back to Soldier Field in Chicago. Tampa Bay Mutiny trailing the Chicago Fire at the half, 1-0. Here's your halftime scoring summary, sponsored by Naya Water. Just one goal to show. Frank Klopas in the 43rd minute. Chicago playing with the man advantage, and they will for the rest of this game. Here's your Lindell Honda statistics. Mutiny have taken 2 shots, and once again, Jim, they haven't put any on goal.
No, but look at that, Rob. 13-2 in shots, Chicago leading. That shows the domination the Fire's had here in the first half.
Take a look at our first half highlights. Mutiny did have their opportunities.
Well, they did, and this is one, though, that Frankie Klopas on the cross inside, it was deflected. Watch the bicycle kick. That would have been the most spectacular goal ever. Here was the Mutiny's chance. Dominic Kinnear threw to Lassiter, but Lassiter scuffs it with his right foot. That is not his good one. Now, C.J. Brown on the throw-in here. He gets the ball. Hauser will head it forward. Now, watch what happens to Haydick. 1 and 2. Boy, he was really upset. And it took a couple guys and Essie Bahamas to hold poor Frankie back. And on that one, C.J. Brown got himself a yellow card for his efforts. And you can see C.J. saying, hey, man, I'm going to do it. Now, watch this one. This is a second yellow card to Chris Hauser. And that, of course, in Major League Soccer means he is goodbye. Ball inside, a great save by Ravelli on the Armas shot. That was the toughest play Tom has had for a while. Now Haydick on the pass through here as Kinnear sends it down, and watch what happens with this one. Haydick gets it through, quick cross. He thought maybe Zach Thornton might be off his line, but he wasn't. Thornton gathered it back up. There's the great switch over there that got the Mutiny a little bit discombobulated. That came from Novak, who also got an assist. The move by Ibsen inside, split the defender. Now watch around Duhaney. There's Klopas in the shot, and the Chicago Fire take that 1-0 lead into halftime.
Fans, the Mutiny's next home game, April 11th against the Dallas Burn. And don't forget that American Airlines post-game concert, Aaron Neville and the Neville Brothers, brought to you by Smooth Jazz, WSJT 94.1, and News Channel 8. Call 289-6811 for more information. Rob Weingarten and Jim Henderson here getting ready for the second half. Jim, the Mutiny are 0-2. They don't want to go back to Tampa 0-3. But it's going to be tough, not only to come back and even up this game, but to get ahead, a man down against Chicago in their home opener. Cards definitely stacked against them.
Well, it is right now. Frankie Klopas, of course, the guy that got Chicago the goal. The Mutiny will have to be leery of him as the second half starts. Rob, if I'm Tampa Bay right now, I don't really change a whole lot. I still play with the one natural forward. At some point, you're going to have to get more midfielders into the fray, but you don't want to give up that guy in the back, because if Chicago scores the second goal here, it'll be a long, long way back for the Mutiny. The big thing is, play your game, put some passes together, and see what you can do to get back into this thing.
And at some point, too, you will see John Ravelli probably go to the bench just to keep fresher legs on the field, playing down a man, going to have to run even a heck of a lot harder than you usually do.
Well, John Kowalski, it looks like, has made one substitution for the Mutiny. Adam Fry has come into the game. Now, Adam was working out down in the end zone a lot during the first half. He's come in to play in the back. It looks like the Mutiny will open somewhat similarly to the way they did the first half with a three-man back and with Erickson and Kinnear as more or less defensive midfielders. But that means that Ralston will have a lot to do for the Mutiny up front and in the midfield if they hope to catch up here in the second half.
And the guy who goes to the bench for the Mutiny in the second half will be Jacek Joubert.
So Joubert basically a forward. John Kowalski figuring he doesn't need that right now. He needs to get people into the game that can get some touches on the ball and try to make something happen.
Now we start the second half with Yalop sending one deep the other way. Rampant will try to head one forward for Lassiter, puts it behind him. The Fire will start up on the near side. Ibsen steps out, throwing Tampa Bay. Of course, maybe one of the most memorable moments of last season, Jim, came with this team playing shy a man.
Sure did, and I was just thinking about that as Roy Lassiter with a chance maybe here.
Roy Lassiter, a shot, gets it on goal right at Zach Thornton.
And that's the best chance Tampa Bay has had in the game. You know, Rob, sometimes in adversity, good things happen. This may be the kind of game the Mutiny need to really bond together out there on the field now, playing the man down as they are, get back into this thing. Maybe this could be a turning point game for the season if they can pull it back.
Much like that game out west last year.
In San Jose when they played 9 for 55 minutes to San Jose's 10.
And came back to win. Duhaney to throw out at the zone end. Duhaney remembers that first half goal. He was down there on the ground and could not get the ball away from Klopas.
Yeah, Klopas did a nice job of cutting it around him that time.
Andrew Lewis looking for Kosetsky. Yalop will get there to cut it off. We'll have a goal kick coming for Thomas Ravelli.
Well, the good news for the Mutiny right now, too, Rob, is that Chicago's come out a little bit lackadaisical here to start the second half. If you're the Fire, you really got to come out and play hard with the one goal advantage and a man advantage. You got to try to bury these guys as soon as you can.
Ball sent to midfield, can't get to Lassiter. Klopas up with it. Ibsen trying to sneak around Duhaney in the box. Gets the cross to the middle, and Ravelli gets there before Klopas can come up with it.
Well, Adam Fry was also trailing on the play for the Mutiny, but a good job by Thomas Ravelli once again to read the game as only he can and make that quick step out to get the ball.
Erickson gets around one as Ralston to his left goes to his right for Haydock. Frankie looking for Ralston. Steve into the box. Kubik cuts it away. Kachow comes back to help. Plays it to Kubik, who bangs it ahead. Battle in the center of the field. Yalop knocked down from behind. Yellow card is up. And it looks like Yalop earned the yellow card on that play.
Yeah, it was really hard to tell, and that's one of the arguments that I had with officials in Major League Soccer. If you're going to give a yellow card, walk up and put it in the guy's face so that everybody knows. Rob, you know, I thought it might have been Kinnear, but I'm not sure.
Well, we'll get an official word later, but it's another caution, the fourth of the game against Tampa Bay.
Well, when you're playing a man down, you got to take some chances here, and that's part of the game. You got to be a little hard out there, and that's what the Mutiny is being right now. Ball was coming through on the yellow card, and it looks like Dominic Kinnear is the guy who got the yellow card. He took down Chris Armas, and Armas complaining about it to the official, S.C. Baharmas, at the time.
SC has been busy with the cards in this one. 4 to Tampa, 1 to the Fire.
You know, SC right now, Rob, is, in fact, we should congratulate SC. He is going to the World Cup in France this summer as a referee representing Major League Soccer in the United States. And certainly that is a great honor for any referee to officiate in the world's biggest event.
Long ball, trying to get ahead for Haydock. Tries to head back to Prampton. Allen almost gets there. You know, one thing about the early going here in the second half, Jim, and we're only about 4 minutes in, with 10 guys, the Mutiny do have better spacing on the field.
They do, and they have really made some nice plays, but they got to stop this one here.
Hits it into the box. Duhaney comes to help. and Duhaney cuts it off. It goes into the crowd. Corner kick on the way for Chicago. But Duhaney in the right place at the right time made sure that play did not get back to the goal.
And one thing happened on that play. Dominic Kinnear came up grabbing his hamstring, and he's limping around a little bit. Ibsen on a nice run down the right flank, got the ball into the box. Duhaney had to get over there and force the corner kick to the near side, just off to our right here.
Well, Novak to curl it in, goes for the short ball. Played right back to Novak, tries to step around Kinnear. He rolls down to the ground, no call on the play. Ravelli will get the goal kick.
Well, that time Essie Baharmas was way on the other side of the field, and the referee assistant on the near side of the field, Ali Sahili, did not put his flag up, and I think maybe he could have, although that would have been a very harsh call. It would have been in the box had it happened. It looked like Kinnear stepped on the foot of Novak, who then tumbled into the box, so it certainly would not have been a foul, and a good no call that time by the refereeing crew.
It also looks like Novak, who of course has tons of European experience like so many great European players, has a flair for the theatrical.
Well, he knows where to fall and when to fall, and he fell into the box, and you know, at first glance you look at it, you're not sure, but when we have the benefit of replay here in the booth, and clearly not a foul.
And a veteran official like Baharmas wasn't buying.
You know, he said, come on.
Roman Kosetsky, back to Ribson. Turns around for Andrew Lewis. His crossing pass sails away. Back to Lewis. And Andrew retreats for C.J. Brown.
It looks like Chicago, Rob, wants to try to play a possession game right now. That's smart, but they also have to keep going forward. You don't want to get back on your heels if you're the Fire at this stage of the game.
Novak. He works the field side to side. Ahead for Clovis. Frank lets one fly off Ravelli's chest. Loose in the box and knocked away by Yell. Ravelli blocked it but couldn't hold on, and Yell cleared away to rebound.
Yeah, it looked like it might be one of those knuckleball shots that come in because it kind of handcuffed Ravelli, but at least he kept his body in front of it to make the play.
Ralston takes a long run and finally gets stopped by Armas.
And the time Raleigh probably ran a little too far, needed some help from the guy in white jersey.
Kosetsky tries to get one in for Klopas, but Ravelli comes up to pull it away. Ravelli and Klopas having words in the box. Thomas gives him a little elbow.
Yeah, Ravelli not happy. He thought maybe Klopas was trying to give him a little nudge as he went over the top, and he looked at Essie Baharmas and said, well, what do you want me to do?
Ravelli is a battler. Onto the near side, it's
Of course, the game for the Mutiny will take on a great counterattack potential here. If Chicago continues to press forward, the Mutiny needs to keep an eye for Roy Lassiter, trying to get him the ball on a breakaway.
Crampton knocks one out of trouble, the Mutiny to throw in. The next Mutiny home game, April 11th against the Burn. There's the American Airlines post-game concert with Aaron Neville and the Neville Brothers, brought to you by Smooth Jazz 94.1. Call 289-6811 for more information.
Looks like Josh Keller will be getting up for the Mutiny as Roy Lassiter heading back to his position, talking to the bench a little bit over there. Roy needs the ball right now for the Mutiny. If they're going to score, they got to get him the ball.
And Josh back with the team this week, really rehabbed his injury quick.
Yeah, he got hurt on opening night against Columbus. Actually did it in the first 5 minutes of his first ever game with the Mutiny. Couldn't play after halftime, missed last week, and is ready to go tonight.
Josh had a great spring, very promising draft pick. Mutiny working it through. Kinnear out to his left. Lassiter, 3 men around him. Big left foot from Lassiter over the ball.
And not a good shot by Lassiter, but a good idea. You've got to keep him honest. 36 minutes to go in the game. You've got to make sure Chicago knows that you're not out of it. Take the shot. Who knows? You may get one.
Zach Thornton into his second game of the season, yet to give up a goal this year. His MLS average coming into the season at 2.70. Did not have much success in his limited stints with the Metro Stars, but so far, Zach Thornton doing well for Chicago.
Thornton played very well for Chicago in the preseason. We saw him down in Tampa in a 2-1 Mutiny victory, and Thornton made some good plays that night for the Fire.
Novak. Peter works his way around Kinnear, who dumps him. That'll be a foul against Kinnear. Substitution getting ready to come in for the Mutiny. Kinnear will be coming off now, and Josh Keller will be entering the game.
You know, and I think as Kinnear comes off the field, I think he did his hamstring on that long run down the field. He's been kind of trying to battle through it, and they're going to have to take a look at him on the sidelines as Josh Keller makes his way out onto the field.
And his inability to run has caused him to take some tackles that have been very close to being fouls, and a couple have been fouls.
Well, it was, and of course he got a card earlier, as I recall. He can't afford to get another one. We need to mention, too, that Chris Hauser will have to miss the next game for the Mutiny against Dallas. That's league rules.
Into the box for Kasecki, heads it forward, but Ravelli gets there before Kasecki can control it. I have trouble controlling Kasecki's name.
Well, it doesn't look like it's pronounced differently than it's spelled. It looks like Kosecki, but it is Kosecki. And you've done very well with it. That's the first time I've had to say it.
Well, there is another Polish national that has joined the Chicago Fire. Due in late this afternoon. Have not even seen if he's made it down to the bench yet, but if he gets into the game today, you're pronouncing his name. Jerzy Produbchny, I believe is the way we go with it.
Something like that. Pobrozhny.
Hopefully we won't have to use it again.
But he's a good player. He's a natural center forward, and they're looking for his contributions right away.
In the box, Kasecki back for Klopp is taken away by the Mutiny. Keller gets it out of there. And Hayda clears it to the side.
Good job by Mike Duhaney that time. Came in and closed. Cloak was down in the box, even though Frank hit the deck. Definitely not a penalty.
Ravelli will just clear it away. If nothing else, when Ravelli sends the ball all the way to the other end of the field, he gives himself a break. Ibsen near midfield. Back to Armas. Chris Armas, a native of the Bronx. Won't find too many of those in MLS.
Now, boy, he played so well for the Galaxy for 2 years. The Fire really held out for him in the compost deal. They sent Danny Pena, Kevin Hartman back to the Galaxy, who they had picked up in the expansion draft, and they really wanted Armas, and boy, he's played well for them.
Crampon uses Ralston. Ralston ahead for Lassiter. Roy tries to find Josh Keller. Can't get to him, but does win the ball. And now gets it over to Josh. Josh looking ahead for Crampon. Ball out. It'll be a throw-in for the Fire. Whether you need drinks, snacks, or gas, shop where the Mutiny shop at Shell ETD convenience stores located throughout the Tampa Bay area. Jorge Salcedo, he's been much quieter this second half than he was in the first.
Well, he has. He's really in a settling position, though. He tries to stay back, tries to make the plays back there, get the ball and get it out, get it to the midfielders and forwards.
Erickson stood up Kochow at midfield. He'll get the foul call. Ball back to the Fire. Andrew Lewis leaves it for Novak. Lewis coming forward. Keller gets a shove on him. Lewis puts it out to the outside for Ibsen. Flag goes up. Offside Chicago.
Yeah, very careless offside that time on Zach Ibsen. He had no reason in the world to be offside when the referee assistant standing right beside him there, and he knew exactly where everybody was.
32-25 remaining. The Chicago Fire still ahead 1-0 on the 43rd minute goal by Frank Klopas. Frank Yallop lets it fly downfield. Down onto the foot of Ibsen. Duhaney will pick it up and start the other way. Duhaney's pass from Keller, picked off by Novak. Looking for Kasecki in the middle. In between Yallop and another man. Kasecki blocked by Ravelli. And the loose ball is cleared away by the Mutiny. Thomas Ravelli took away a certain Chicago Fire goal.
And he did, and Adam Fry got back there, helped out, and cleared the ball out of danger for the Mutiny after it looked like the Fire may have had one, and Kasecki really thought that one was going to go.
There's no exact count on how many Polish nationals are in the crowd, but if Kasecki scored, they would have went nuts.
Boy, they really would. Kasecki made a nice move between two Mutiny players, but Ravelli got his foot on the ball, and then Adam Fry comes over to clear it away.
We've got another Chicago player down. C.J. Brown got dumped. The yellow comes up. It's pointed in the direction of Roy Lassiter.
I know, but there again we go. You know, you've got to get the card in front of the player's face. It's one of the arguments that I have with the officials. And, you know, speaking of working in press boxes, you can't tell who it is, and you're expected to know. It doesn't work that way.
Lassiter gets the yellow. It's his first caution of the game, 5th against the Mutiny. Lassiter and C.J. Brown have been going at it for quite some time.
They have. That's a remnant of something that happened earlier in the game involving C.J. Brown. And good job by Lassiter to stick up for his teammates, because Frankie Haydick was the guy who got whacked.
35 away from the center. Lubos Kubik bangs one just wide.
Boy, what a shot by Kubik. And look at Ravelli coming out, talking to his players, saying somebody has got to get that, and that's in the wall, Rob. Somebody's got to step up, make a play.
Thomas Ravelli is one of the most intense competitors I have ever seen. He's had his game face on for the last 48 hours.
He has, and that's just the way he is. You know, you don't want to be bothered on game day. And it was a great shot by Kubik, and it had a little spin on, a little knuckleball going left, far post. And I tell you what, Rob, it didn't miss by much.
And Ravelli knows he wouldn't have had that one if it was on.
Because he made the full extension out trying to get it.
Throwing for the Fire. Gibson puts it across midfield for Novak. Back to Kosetsky. Keller comes to help out. Puts it out to the Mutiny bench. Armas has his pass taken away by Lassiter. Plays it back for Haydick. Frankie dancing in his own end. Pitches it out to Fry. Adam will send it back to Frank Yallop. Patient build for the Mutiny. Yallop looking deep downfield for Haydick. Cut off.
And Kubik, who did the cutting off, is going to get most of those in the air. He is one tough hombre back there.
Thrown into the center of the field. Ralston has it knocked away by Andrew Lewis. Yallop comes up to take control ahead for Haydick. Kochow gets there first. Uses Kubik. Kubik's ball knocked down by Yallop. Frank looking for help ahead. Has Adam Fry. Looking up for Haydick over his head. Headed back by Ralston. Haydick turns away. Fry down in the corner. Tries to cross one for Keller. Cut off by Kubik. Pretty good piece of work by Adam Fry.
Well, a pretty good piece of work by the Mutiny overall. They controlled the ball very well in tight spaces. I know on one of those passes, Yallop wanted to try to get it back out for a switch, but there was no one there, and they still maintained possession.
Haydick will take the deep throw in, and this, of course, another one of those plays where they really miss housing.
Yeah, they do, Rob, right now, but Frankie Haydick can do that, and Haydick being told to tuck his shirt in. What is that all about?
Now, Frankie's probably been told to tuck his shirt in from the time he was 3 years old. He's never been the kind to tuck it in.
That's right. Bad boy, but good news for the Mutiny. He gets a corner.
Haydick's got the corner coming up. He's got the right foot set. Hangs one low and hard, headed out of the box. Mutiny fans, if you want to look like the players, get all your team gear at the Mutiny Ticket Office and Pro Shop. For more information, call 289-6811. Tampa Bay throwing.
And Rob, a little bit of pressure here by the Mutiny now on Chicago. I think the fans sense that they're starting to get riled up a little bit here. Or maybe it's the wave, one of the two.
Haydick's back heel taken away. Chicago comes forward with numbers. Kosetsky. Duhaney's with him. Tries to get one ahead. Keller's there. And Josh puts it up in the air, and he gets dumped. No call on the play. There'll be a throw-in coming up for the Fire.
Well, if Josh Keller had any questions about his knee, they were answered on that one. He'd have come a long way to get in front of that pass, and then he got hit, as you said, trying to get it out of danger.
Novak has Salcedo chipped in, looking for Kosetsky. Duhaney gets there. Bangs it out of bounds off the head of Kosetsky. Throw in Tampa Bay.
And a good job by the Mutiny defense. They're not panicking at all. Chicago really putting some heat on them right now, but Tampa Bay's defenders are standing their ground very nicely.
A few more Mutiny players warming up. Musa Shannon, one of them. Novak toward the center of the box, tries to sneak one in for Klopas. Klopas has the ball headed away by Yallop, who looks like he turned an ankle.
Boy, he sure did coming up on that one. He's trying to get back out in a hurry, but a great job by Yallop just to get his head on that ball.
Played ahead for Prampin, too far out. At midfield, it comes back to Keller. With Kosetsky on him. Has it knocked out by Ibsen. Mutiny throwing in front of the Fire bench. Lassiter touches back for Keller. Roush ahead for Roy. Roy tries to chip back to Keller. Cut off. Novak. And Peter goes with room. Kasetsky on his right. Klopas on his left. Novak slows down. Waits. And at the last minute, Kochow cut off by Duhaney.
Boy, what a play again by Duhaney. That's why that guy was the Rookie of the Year in Major League Soccer last year. He came over from the left side, made the play.
Frankie Haydock looks ahead for Lassiter. Roy, quick touch. Ralston's going to come across with some space. Ralston to the middle, waits for help. Adam Fry joins the charge. Frampton on his left. Frampton walking it up. Frampton gets it down in crossing position, crosses it. Nobody there. Lassiter goes down in the middle of the box. Nice play by Frampton.
Well, it really was a tremendous job by Alan Frampton, but again, with nobody coming up on the back post, it's one of those that maybe you take it that step further to try to see who's coming, who's showing on that far side. Nobody did for the Mutiny as Lassiter and Kubik having some words in the box. I think Roy thought he was taken down by Kubik.
Rowan for the Fire. Near midfield, Gallup pitches it up in the air. Controlled by Chicago. Andrew Lewis. 9th round pick in the expansion draft with the Metro Stars last year. Andrew by Josh Keller. Looking ahead. Novak chases it to the corner. That's Klopas. Off the foot of a Mutiny defender, probably Frampton. And now we'll get a corner kick on the way for the Fire.
And a good job by Frank Klopas with 2 white jerseys around him to draw that corner for the Fire.
Novak to take it. Novak uses the left foot. He's curled them in. He's played them short. He's used every conceivable corner kick so far tonight. Novak sends this one in hard, and Ravelli punches it up. Air battle won by Kasetsky. Hits it toward the goal. Comes down on the foot of Novak. Novak switches it the other way. Good win in the air by Haydock.
Well, Haydock sensed that pass. He could see it coming cross field right there to make the play.
And Haydock drew a foul as well, getting shoved on the play, so the Mutiny are up with it.
Well, here's where the Mutiny needs to go 1, 2, 3, go in a hurry if they can.
Lassiter loses the handle. Klopas ahead in the box for Novak. Novak, right-footed shot, kick save, Ravelli.
Tremendous save near post by Thomas Ravelli. Ravelli right where he had to be, and that was just one of those shots that happened so quickly that all you can do, again, like an earlier save he had, Rob, is just react.
It'll set up a corner kick, but Thomas Ravelli has already made more great saves tonight than you'll see in a season.
A great play by Novak. He had Duhaney, but he just pulled the trigger real quick. A left-footed save by Ravelli.
Short ball to Kasetsky, back to Novak. Ralston tries to cut off. It comes back to Armas. Big left foot, wide. Looks like it hit someone in the middle of the box and deflected wide of the goal. And it will set up a corner kick, so Armas' shot did nick a Mutiny defender.
Yeah, and I got to wonder on that one, Rob. I thought Chris Armas could have pulled the trigger a little quicker on this one. There's a shot, and then he took it a second later, and he threw the corner anyway, far side of the field.
Duhaney deflected it over the end line. Novak from the far corner with the left curls it away. Looking for Kubik, one-times it high. The volley goes deep into the crowd.
And that wouldn't have been a field goal if the Bears were here.
What a game for Thomas Ravelli. He trails 1-0, but boy, he has been called on to make some incredible saves.
Man of the match for the Mutiny so far.
Ravelli's goal kick sails toward midfield. Banged back by Kochow, and Kasetsky has it. Kasetsky and Fry battle on the far side. Kasetsky gets around him, and Haydock comes to help back.
Boy, a nice tackle by Frankie Haydock. Slide tackle, got the ball.
All in all, it has been a strong effort for Frankie Haydock tonight.
Well, really, Rob, overall, a pretty strong effort for the Mutiny. You know, playing down as long as they have, they've held their ground pretty well.
Tune into the next Sports Channel Florida telecast, Saturday, April 25th, 10:30 p.m. Steve Ralston and the rest of the Mutiny will take on the Los Angeles Galaxy. We approach the 21-minute mark. Lifted ahead, offside, called on the Fire. Mutiny will take it back the other way.
Well, Rob, right now, Coach John Kowalski has both Musa Shannon and RT Moore getting loose. He can only make one more substitution, and I think he won't wait too much longer. If he stays down, I think we'll see Musa Shannon. If the Mutiny can somehow tie it up, you might see RT Moore get in there for more of defensive purposes.
Jan Eriksson whistled for the foul. Jan has yet to look 100% comfortable in his new role with the Mutiny.
No, he hasn't. You know, I think he's just trying to figure out how this team is going to play and try to marry his game to what the Mutiny want to do. And it's going to take some time.
Andrew Lewis, Lassiter back to defend. Novak. What a workhorse he is. He's everywhere.
Well, we talked about that top of the show. He has done a great job for the Fire.
Ibsen pitches one in. And hit it away. Salcedo's header comes down to Novak. Into the box, Kasetsky. Plenty of time. Shot off the crossbar. Oh, Kasetsky had all day, let it fly, and hit the crossbar.
Well, it was a real one-on-one duel with Thomas Ravelli on that one. Ravelli was kind of in no man's land. All you can do as a goalkeeper in that kind of play is guard the near post. Kasetsky pulled the trigger and just missed.
That time, that post was definitely Ravelli's best friend.
No question.
And Roman Kasetsky, a little snake-bitten tonight. He's had his chances. Kubik battling with Eriksson. Uses Armas. Armas, another one who's had his chances tonight. Near side, Novak. Keller comes to defend. Gives him some room, and Keller cuts him off. It comes back to Armas. Chips it into Ibsen. Ibsen finds Kasetsky. Roman crosses. Loose in the box. Klopas had a shot, but Duhaney stepped in.
Boy, did he ever. He whacks it way back up the field on the Mutiny right side. Mike Duhaney has just been a rock inside tonight for Tampa Bay.
After a pretty good stretch, the Mutiny now back on their heels. And that could just be a sign of fatigue.
Well, it sure could. And this is the time, though, where you got an opportunity for a counter with Chicago pushing forward so hard, but you got to make it happen.
Gets past Klopas. Ibsen tries to control, won't come up with it. It'll be a goal kick for Thomas. Here's Kasetsky's latest nightmare.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Kasetsky really had an opportunity here. And you can see he just waits. Ravelli standing there saying, do something. Pulls the trigger and didn't miss by much. Clanked off the underside of the crossbar and popped back out.
And that ball bounced straight down off the crossbar, which tells you it was only about 2 inches off.
Boy, if that.
Kubik plays it ahead. And the Mutiny forced the Chicago Fire to start out all over with Zach Thornton. Zach kicks it out to Lewis. Onto the near side, Ibsen. Ibsen has it tackled away by Haydock. Frankie Haydock continues to be all over the field.
Yeah, he does. He came right into the center of the park that time to make the play.
Good work by Yallop to get it back to Ravelli.
Veteran against veteran that time with Klopas, thinking maybe he's got a chance, but Frankie won that battle very nicely.
Now, Frankie is a guy who occasionally will make a questionable decision, but you can never question his work rate.
Well, you can't really question the work rate of this entire Mutiny team tonight. Playing down a man as long as they have, they've hung in there very nicely. Yeah, the crossbar just helped them out on one, but you know when you play hard, sometimes you deserve a break, and they've gotten it.
This is definitely not the California surfing weather that Frankie loves so much. Deep in the Mutiny end, Duhaney controls. Eriksson. For Haydock. Back to Ralston. Ralston slips, but stays on the ball. And we've got a call coming up against the Mutiny. Ralston may have touched it with the hand.
Maybe so. Hard to tell from here. I know he wasn't happy about it.
Kasetsky. Roman works it the other way for Ibsen. Zach knocks it down, waits for help. Salcedo. Keller comes up to challenge. Back to Lewis. 15:54 remaining.
And Rob, we're reaching the point of the game now where the Mutiny down 1-0. Really shouldn't be concerned about being down 1-0. They need to get forward, try to get the equalizer. 1, 2, or 3 doesn't really matter. You don't get points for style points. You got to try to get the goal if you can.
Waiting for their opportunity to counter. Down in the corner, Fry does battle. Battles Kosetsky and wins it. Ravelli will get the goal kick.
And let's see if the Mutiny now try to maybe push a couple of guys up if they can. Get more people into the attack here and try to get the equalizer from Chicago, because, Rob, I think the Fire could be ripe right now. They know that they're in control of the game. This is the perfect time to really make something happen, and I think John Kowalski senses that, because I believe his choice to come in will be Musa Shannon, the forward, so you know he's going to try to get this thing even if he can.
Well, Mutiny play a long ball down the far side and don't play it well. Throw in for the Fire. Novak can't handle it. Keller fights the battle at midfield. It'll come back to Adam Fry. Here's your Naya game summary. The Frank Klopas goal in the 43rd minute, the only goal of the game. Chris Hauser dismissed in the 29th minute with his second yellow. 4 saves tonight for the Viking, Thomas Ravelli.
And, Rob, none of them have been easy.
3 of them have been downright spectacular. Up the other way. Played onto the far side, and that'll roll out.
Well, you got to wonder what the Fire are thinking on that one. They had numbers on the Mutiny and just kicked it out. Maybe this is what Tampa Bay needs.
Pushing ahead, Josh Keller. Using Lassiter. Boy gets it back to Duhaney. Long ball cut off to the races. Here come the Fire. Novak. Pitches one through. He's got a man. Shot just wide. From the far side, Novak had an opportunity and could not get it on goal.
Well, all the Tampa Bay Mutiny fans just went, because, man, that was close. Novak just got it across the goal mouth after getting an excellent pass. Tampa Bay just beaten by numbers. It got by Ravelli, got by Duhaney, but it also got by the goal.
Klopas came down the middle with plenty of time, found Novak, and Novak, maybe he was thinking about Ravelli. Lassiter goes back to Keller. Keller's got Ralston with some room in the middle. Uses Erickson. Back to Keller. Keller trying to find Haydock long the other way. It's cut off by the Fire. And Kosetsky comes up with room. Waits for Klopas to get outside. Tries to work his way around Gallup. Gallup gets it back to Ravelli. Ravelli resets to Fry.
Just looking to try to push ahead now, trying to get somebody open. Maybe Alan Prampin the guy.
Prampin brings it back towards center. Ralston on his right. Ralston surrounded. Still tries to work his way through, but Kubik's going to cut it off. Kubik's a big guy to get around and an experienced player. And Lubos, great ball just to get it upfield and keep it in bounds.
Yeah, he's been the big difference back there tonight for the Fire. He has tied everything up in a neat little bow.
Now substitutions on the way down on the field. Musa Shannon getting ready to come in for Adam Fry.
And you can see by that substitution, Rob, that John Kowalski is thinking forward, thinking offense, because Adam Fry just came into the game at halftime.
And the Mutiny's next home game is on April 11th against the Dallas Burn, and there is the big American Airlines post-game concert with Aaron Neville and the Neville brothers, brought to you by Smooth Jazz, WSJT 94.1, and News Channel 8. Call 289-6811 for more information. And Duhaney stops one before it can get through to Kosetsky. Keller taps back for Erickson. Erickson has Haydock outside. Frankie's got a little room. Armas will come to pick up. Quick touch for Ralston. Sends it to the corner for Haydock. Frankie earns himself a corner kick by punching it out off of Armas.
Yeah, nice job that time by Frankie Haydick, and a good sequence here by the Mutiny, building up and getting it down that right side.
And with Kinnear out of the game, Haydick has been taking the corners.
Second one coming up here for Frankie.
Low hard ball to the near side, knocked down by Novak.
Yeah, that time not a good corner by Frankie, and you can see he really doesn't take him that often.
Taken away by the Mutiny. Haydick sends it into the box, looking for Lassiter, headed away by Kubik. Back to Frankie Haydick. Musa Shannon with him. Collision, ball out, goal kick for Zach Thornton.
Yeah, Musa Shannon thought he might have been able to draw the corner, but that looked like a good call from our vantage point. The ball did go out off of Musa. And now, Rob, the Mutiny got a high pressure. I'm sure they're tired, but playing a man down for what will be 61 minutes in this game, but they got to pressure the ball now when it gets back in play.
The Mutiny fortunate that people like Frank Haydick have experience playing some defense here. They're going to need some help back there with Fry out of the game. Haydick, of course, a backliner for the Mutiny for the first 2 seasons. But moved to the midfield by the U.S. national team, and that certainly seems like a more natural fit for him.
Well, it is, because he can go forward from that position, doesn't have to worry as much about getting back. Obviously, got to play some defense, but his job, get forward and try to get the ball in the scoring position.
Zach Ibsen. Lassiter comes to challenge. Plays it wide. All the way back is Haydick. Klopas tries to work his way around Yallop, and Frank wins the battle of the Franks.
What a play by Yallop. And here the Mutiny now on a little counter with Erickson.
Erickson gets around one, gets tackled, and the yellow card comes out for the tackle from behind.
Looks like they get Chris Armas for it, and that was a good call by Esifa Armas, because Erickson had an opportunity here now to try to get something going for the Mutiny.
I've lost count, but I believe that's our 7th caution of the game.
Too.
Ralston takes it down. Pitches one into the box, can't find Lassiter. Back down to Ralston. Steve with the left. Little bouncer, can't find Frampton. Duhaney heads it forward. Comes back the other way. Duhaney will have plenty of room to pick it up. And he and Yallop will work it out. So we're down to 8:45 remaining in the game.
Yeah, and obviously time becoming a big factor now for the Mutiny. Just press forward, keep going, just try to get something here.
Haydick has it taken away, but one back by Keller. Stripped away at midfield. Klopas with Keller. Stops. Uses Salcedo. To the outside. Kachow. Looking for Novak. Cut off by Duhaney. It'll be a throw-in for Chicago, but Mike Duhaney broke up a dangerous play.
Well, again, Mike Duhaney has been back there all night and has been making that play time and again.
Throw-in for Kasetsky. He got behind Shannon, but Musa came back to win it. Josh Keller battles in the air. Alan Frampton takes it down. Salcedo gets it back from Duhaney. Nice tackle by Duhaney. Gets it to Keller. Lassiter, quick touch. Keller off and running. Armas on him. Keller looks for help. Erickson comes up. Frampton on the sideline. 2 men on. Has it taken away. Tampa Bay throwing. Alan Frampton throws it to the center of the field. Chested down by Erickson. Back into the circle for Yallop. Ahead for Keller. Quick touch Erickson. He's slowly coming forward. Big foot from Erickson from the outside. Wide of Thornton. Tried to catch Zach sleeping, but didn't get it on goal.
No, it didn't really get too much on the shot. He hit it wide right, maybe about 10 yards, and maybe on that one, you're a little bit better off to try to go forward and get something going for the Mutiny.
Zach Thornton getting ready for the goal kick. Thornton, a man after my own heart, besides being a standout goalkeeper at Loyola of Maryland, was also an all-league lacrosse midfielder.
Yeah, but Rob, he's a little bigger than you are.
Everyone's a little bit bigger than I am.
Well, come on, you set yourself up. I had to do that. I've been nice all night. I mean,
okay.
Long season.
I'll get back at you. Ibsen sends one to the center. Yallop gets in the way, and the Mutiny start off in the other direction with Haydick. Still running hard. Ralston. 2 men on, knocked out over the end line, the sideline. Ralston will throw in. Steve moved to the center of the field today. Of course, the formation kind of had to go out the window after Hauser was ejected.
Well, it was. They went to the 4-4-1 for a while with Lassiter up front, but now it looks like they're playing as many as 3 up there, trying to get something moving here against the Fire. And, of course, the clock in Major League Soccer is the official time, so that is what remains in the game.
5:47 to go. Frankie Hayda finds Lassiter. Lassiter's quick touch back for Duhaney, taken away. Duhaney will have to race back to battle with Andrew Lewis. Lassiter comes back to help as well. Salcedo. To his left, Novak. Outside to Kosetsky, looking inside for Klopas. Ravelli comes to take it away. Thomas quick pick outside. Plenty of room for Crampon. Allen drops it back. Lassiter crosses midfield. Touches for Yallop. To his right, Keller. Keller has Hayda going down the sideline. Hayda will have an opportunity to cross. Drops it back for Yallop. Looking outside again to Hayda. 2 men on. Back to Yallop. Good patience by the Mutiny here.
And good sequence here.
Yallop looking for Keller in the box. Salcedo cuts him off and Thornton makes the play. Fans, the MLS All-Star Game is in Orlando. You can see it for free this year if you call the Mutiny ticket office and purchase season tickets. With every purchase, you get a free All-Star ticket. Call 289-6811 for more information. 4:35 to go. Chicago holding on to a 1-0 lead. They've been playing one man up for quite some time.
And give the Mutiny a lot of credit because the Mutiny's held their ground very well here tonight. And this thing, even though the clock running down, is not over yet. If they can just hold on and get a run.
Novak coming to the center. Drops one back. Armas. He's had some opportunities. Looks for Kosetsky and it's knocked away.
Boy, and that time Alan Crampon comes all the way back and made a great play and got hit in the process.
Armas, after missing some easy scoring chances, did not want to shoot.
No, he sure didn't.
On the outside, Kachow. Back to Novak. Quick touch. Keller steps up. Taken away by Yallop. Back to Duhaney. Touched ahead for Lassiter. Can't get there. Lassiter comes back to beat Andrew Lewis to the ball. Uses Keller. Keller has some room to the outside with Haydick. Haydick playing one up for Musa Shannon. Haydick got dumped near midfield, and there is a yellow card coming out. We'll see who gets it. It's being shown to a Fire player. Looks like Kachow. Kubik. Lubos Kubik picks up the card. Mutiny off and running. Knocked down close to midfield. Foul call against Tampa Bay. Chicago Fire will be up with it.
Well, you can see here on this play, Haydick trying to come across. Kubik just gets in the way, obstructs the heck out of him, goes down. Good yellow card call against Lubos Kubik.
A flying hip tackle is probably the best way to put it.
And Kubik looks up and says, "What did I do?"
Jax Thornton. Strong kick the other way. Headed back by Yallop. 2:35 to go. Kosetsky on the far side. Tries to get around Yallop. Brings it into the box. Down to the end line. Brings it back. Leaves it for Klopas. Shot. Goal! That'll put away the Mutiny. Frank Klopas with his second goal in the game. Kosetsky worked the tire. Frank Yallop got it back to Klopas. The Chicago Fire will win their home opener.
Well, they really will. And Frank Klopas, again, an opportunistic finisher off a play that the Mutiny did fairly well to track back on. But you know, when you keep pushing up and push up, you're going to give up one. And that's exactly what happened here. And Roberts almost at exactly the same time he scored the goal in the first half for the Fire. Kosetsky down the sideline, makes the run, gets by Yallop, gets near the end line, holds it, tries to cut it back in, and Klopas there, left puts it far post. Ravelli out, just could not make the play. And then, of course, Klopas wants to go celebrate with the fans. You know what? If I'm him, I do too.
Well, it will be a big party tonight in Chicago where the history of the Chicago Fire will begin with an MLS victory, and they'll run their record to 2-0. Musa Shannon works it out to his right to Lassiter. Pass from Keller, stripped away by Novak. Novak stops at midfield, works it back to the center. Armas comes forward with room. He's got Klopas ahead of the play. And Clovis was offside. The Mutiny will work it back.
Rob, it looks like we've got some smoke down in the stands right directly under us, and I don't know if it's from fireworks or not.
We have a slight discrepancy between the game clock and our clock here on Sports Channel Florida. We've got 51 on the screen, 111 on the scoreboard clock here at Soldier Field. Either way, time is ticking down on the Mutiny. Gallup lifts one ahead. Keller has it into the box for Crampon. Crampon tries to get through two and has it taken away. He had Lassiter on the right but couldn't get it to him.
Well, guess who did it for the Fire? Mr. Kubik one more time.
Lucas Kubik has had a very, very strong game. Clovis battling two on the sideline. Holds on to the ball. Out of bounds, throw in Duhaney. Keller plays it back. 38 seconds remain. Erickson out to Musa Shannon. Musa sends one in, rushing in is Hayda. Cut off at the last second by C.J. Brown. 23 seconds to go. Sent back toward midfield, the play up by Musa Shannon. Kochow tackles it away.
And the celebrating starting here in Chicago, Rob, the Fire, a big, well-deserved victory, fans on their feet.
5 seconds as the ball goes toward midfield. Novak looks up at the clock. It's over. The Chicago Fire run their record to 2-0. The Mutiny fall to 0-3 as the Tampa Bay Mutiny go down tonight, Jim, by a score of 2-0.
Well, they went down to Frankie Clovis, who got one goal at the end of the first half and then one goal at the end of the second. This is the night that young man, Frank Clovis, will remember for a long time, to come to his hometown, get a chance to play for the hometown team in front of all these fans, and become the hero.
Longtime U.S. national Frank Clovis, our player of the game. 2 goals in the 2-0 win over the Tampa Bay Mutiny. Player of the game brought to you by Soccer Field. Soccer's the game. Soccer Field is the store. We'll take a team timeout. We'll come back with our stats and highlights. You're listening to the Tampa Bay Mutiny on Sports Channel Florida.
Get ready to catch the excitement of Major League Baseball with the 1998 Florida Marlins. Now's the time to get your Marlins season tickets. There are still good seats available for both full season plans and mini plans. Marlins season ticket packages start at only $110. Plus, Marlins season ticket packages come with a wide range of exciting benefits and privileges. So call 930-HITS today about Marlins season ticket packages. Florida Marlins Baseball. Catch a live one.
The Panthers take on the Penguins this Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Sports Channel is 100% pure Florida sports. This is Sports Channel Florida, 100% pure Florida sports.